Greetings YouTube, my name is Chris Osmo Noblip. Welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, January, I forgot, January 21st, 2020, 1:11 a.m. I took a break from the 7th gen for a while. Excuse me. And I decided to come back to the 6th gen to do a few games. And I got so frustrated with Brothers in Arms. I was like, you know what? Let me just take a break from all these different types of shooters that I'm doing, and let me just do a lot of the military shooters that I want to do, because I have a huge list of them. So my goal is to do as many SOCOM games for the PS2 as I can. Hopefully all of them. Do all the Call of Duty games. I've already completed Big Red 1 a long time ago. Do all the Medal of Honor games, and do all the Ghost Recon games, and then all of the Rainbow Six games. Do all those games from this generation, not just for PS2, but because there are a few games, a few Ghost Recon games that are only on Xbox, and then there's a few Rainbow Six games like Critical Hour that are only on Xbox. So I want to do all the Ghost Recons, all the Rainbow Six games, all the Medal of Honors, and all the Call of Duties from the 6th gen. Once that's done, then I'll come back to the 7th gen and do whatever. And then later on this year, I have to do all of the Call of Duties and Medal of Honors and whatever else for the 7th gen. So that should be fun. But I started SOCOM. I started Let's Playing it, or attempting to. Well, Let's Playing it. I'm having the time of my life. I love the game. It's probably one of the most frustrating shooters I've ever played. But yeah, I was having the time of my life up until mission 10, which is called, I forgot what it's called. Let me check it out real quick. I also bought all the strategy guides for the game as well. Excuse me. Mission 10 is called Prison Break, and I've spent the last I don't know how many hours, at least 30 hours or so on that mission. Maybe I just suck or something, but that mission is so frustrating for me anyway. It's so annoying. I wanted to do all the SOCOM games and do all of the objectives, like all the primary, all the secondary, all the bonus objectives, and all the hidden objectives. And for SOCOM Part 1, I've done all of the primary and secondary objectives up to mission 10. I couldn't do it. I spent almost 2 days, about a day and a handful of hours on that one mission, just trying to beat it. So I decided to just forego doing all of the objectives and just try to beat the mission in a different way. And I was finally able to do that right there. I just did that about a few hours ago. But I wanted to talk about. I wanted to add my 2 cents on. I don't know what to call it. All I know is that there's another game series, another shooter series for the PS2 or for the 6th gen that I like, called Conflict. There's Conflict Desert Storm, Conflict Desert Storm 2, Conflict Vietnam, and Conflict Global Terror. Those games I actually played in a non Let's Play setting. I played those games and beat them before I ever played the SOCOM games. Even though I've had the SOCOM and the conflict games for about the same amount of time. And I've already Let's Played all of the conflict games. And I would check online every now and then, and people would say, "Oh, conflict is just a knockoff version of SOCOM, or an easier version, a cheaper, whatever you want to call it." So I figured I would just say some things about the two series that I've noticed. Let's see. SOCOM has 3 PSP games, or 3 handheld games. Conflict doesn't. Conflict has 4 games for this generation. So does SOCOM. And SOCOM has 2 more games on PS3, or for the 7th gen on PS3. One of those games is a multiplayer only game. The next game, SOCOM 4, people didn't like too much, and that was like the biggest departure from SOCOM. At least that's what the diehard fans say. I think I'm on my way to becoming a diehard fan as well. But people were saying SOCOM 4 doesn't even feel like SOCOM, and nobody liked it. So I think it's kind of interesting, because the last conflict game was on the 7th gen. I don't know if it's for PS3 or not, but it's for 360. And the same thing, it doesn't feel like a conflict game, not really. So I think that's kind of I think that's kind of neat. It's kind of funny. It's worth mentioning. They're like the last SOCOM game and the last conflict game. They don't really feel like they're from the same series that they originated from. All right, back to the 6th gen. I read somewhere online where someone said that SOCOM. Well, they were talking about SOCOM part, the first one, and they said that SOCOM has the most rewarding or at least the first SOCOM has the most rewarding campaign. So I guess I guess I'll make that a category, like how rewarding each game is. I don't see SOCOM Part 1 being the first SOCOM. I don't see it being that rewarding. The only reward. Well, the guy that said that, or the person that said that, I think they meant as you beat the game, you get rewards. More rewarding in that sense. But still, the only reward you get for beating SOCOM is a higher difficulty. I mean, you beat it again and you'll get other weapons and stuff like that. You have to beat it multiple times. But that's my thing. Like, if you don't like SOCOM, or if you're like me, where some missions give you a lot of trouble, and like I said, mission 10, I was stuck on mission 10 for like 40 hours. I mean, just trying to record it, like, and beat the the mission. Like, I don't see how a higher difficulty is a reward if the gameplay was a little more balanced, and for the most part it is. But on certain missions, I think I don't know. SOCOM just feels too random. Like sometimes, like certain missions. Yeah, I don't see SOCOM. I don't see it being rewarding. Maybe the later ones are, because I heard in Combined Assault, you can You can do you can do certain things or replay certain missions to get more and more medals and stuff like that. So I mean, like, eventually you can use the weapons that the terrorists use, but it's not really. I mean, there's really no advantage to that. I mean, the terrorists, I mean, their weapons are inferior to military weapons. I mean, I mean, yeah, you can use the AK. Finally, you can select one from your armory, but really, there's no scope. There's no. I don't know. I don't see that being rewarding. Now, conflict. On the other hand, conflict is rewarding. I think it's more rewarding because every time you beat a level, your characters. I don't want to say they level up, but they have like a little. Let's just call it a little level up meter. And depending on how well they performed and how many kills they got and other stuff, they get promoted. And that's neat. Not only that, but let's say in a mission, in any mission, you use a weapon that specific character doesn't normally use. Like I like to use Foley a lot. He's a sniper, and I like his secondary. His weapons are sniper rifle, handgun. I like giving him a sniper rifle and a AK or a assault rifle, and you can pick these up from enemies. Now, his AK or his assault rifle rating isn't all that great, but the more you use AKs with him and you kill guys and you just play smart, his assault rifle stat will build or it'll. I think they're represented by stars, but his stat or his skill will raise depending on which weapon he's using and how well he performs. Even if you just have him throw a bunch of grenades or whatever, his grenade, whatever you want to call it, his grenade throwing skill increases. I think in terms of rewarding gameplay, or I don't want to say gameplay. Hmm. Let's just say gameplay. Rewarding gameplay, I think conflict has SOCOM beat. Because in SOCOM, you just get a medal. You get medals. That's about it. I mean, you can pick up other weapons from enemies, and I don't think your skill increases at all the more you use your weapons or any other weapons. Maybe it does, and the computer tracks all that stuff. But yeah, in terms of rewarding gameplay, I think conflict is the better, or it is the more rewarding gameplay. Is has the more not even gameplay. I don't know what to call it because it's not really gameplay. It's after gameplay, like after each mission. Whatever. Conflict is just more rewarding in that category, in my opinion. Conflict also. This isn't a category, but conflict has like non-linear mission structure. I guess. I guess is what I'm trying to say. In all the games except for Vietnam. So each mission, you have a map and you have a set of objectives. You can do those objectives in any order you want, and that's how conflict's been since the start, since part one, part two. Vietnam is linear, but when wait a second, yeah, part one, part two, and then global terror. Although global terror is way more, the mission structure is the mission structure is way more linear than it is in the first two games. Yeah, Conflict Vietnam and Conflict Global Terror. Those games, the mission structure is you have to do this, then that, and that. And Conflict Part 1 and 2, you could do the missions in any order you wanted. And SOCOM, I don't think I don't think they did that until Part 3. I don't even know if they exactly do that in Part 3, but from what I understand, the levels are bigger. So I'm guessing since the levels are bigger, maybe they'll give you some options, or maybe they'll let you choose which objectives you want to tackle first and which ones you don't want to tackle first. I'm not quite sure, guys. I have to play it first. I have to finish Part 1, then Part 2, and then get to Part 3. Let's see. Strategic, or strategy, whatever you want to call it. That category, I think, goes to conflict. I'm gonna have to get at conflict, and not because I'm better at conflict than I am at SOCOM. I don't know. It's just different. It's like this. I want to jump off topic for a second. There's a game called Rogue Galaxy for the PS2, and there's a game called Final Fantasy 12 for the PS2. I like to compare those games. In Rogue Galaxy, when you're fighting, like when you're in battles or whatever, your allies will ask you, "Hey, can I do this special move? Can I do that move? Can I revive this person? Can I revive that person? Can I heal you? Can I heal this person? Can I do this guy?" They ask you that stuff during combat, and with the press of a button, you can just boop, and they do it. They revive, they heal, they do the special moves, they do everything. In Final Fantasy 12, your allies don't do that. All they really do is attack. You have to search the entire game world for what's called gambits. And gambits are little things that you can assign to your character, because each character has a huge list, or a huge like section where you can stick gambits at. And you may find a gambit that says, "Oh, this will make such and such revive a character when their HP is at 10%. This gambit will make them revive or restore their HP when it's at whatever percent." So you basically have to program your allies to do specific things, and you can't do it from the start. You have to search damn near the entire game world just to collect all these things. And I'm thinking, like, that's kind of a waste. I don't know. I don't know what that is. And that's kind of how I look at. That's kind of how I compare. SOCOM to conflict. In SOCOM, at least the first one, you have to select from this menu. You have to choose a team. Bravo. Go here, go here, go there, go there. Yeah, it's a whole list of stuff. It might be there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't find that strategic. SOCOM is more technical, I think. But anyway, like if you want to if you want somebody to do something, you have to open up a menu with circle. You have to scroll down, go here, go here, go here. I mean, you have to scroll through all these options, whether you want them to throw grenades or whatever. And it takes a lot of time. Not a lot of time, but I don't know. It's cumbersome. It's still fun. It's not a bad thing. But in comparison to conflict, you aim somewhere, you press a button, and they go. And they'll go anywhere. See, in SOCOM, sometimes I want my allies or the second team, Bravo, I want them to go to a very specific location, and they won't really do it. They'll go near it, or they'll go wherever, but they won't go exactly where I want them to go. And conflict, with the press of a button, maybe two buttons, they go there. You can even choose which direction they're facing. You say go here, stand by that house, and look south or look east, or look to the left, look to the right. You can't really do that with SOCOM. You can tell them where to go, and whenever they notice an enemy, that's when they'll turn to face them and shoot at them. And I'm like, man, like SOCOM has this whole menu just for you to do certain things or to get what you want, and conflict has all that stuff at the press of a button. And I keep thinking back to where all the stuff I read online and game facts, and like, oh, so conflict is just a dumbed down version of SOCOM, and it's this and that. And I'm like, okay. uh this isn't really strategic, but I like how in SOCOM, let's say for some reason I'm just, I'm playing a game and I'm in an area and I don't notice the tank. Whatever, this tank just, turns his corner, bang, shoots everybody. All three, three out of my four party members are dead. All my allies are just not dead, but they need to be revived, and I'm the only one left. I can go to each. Let's say okay, the tank shoots at us. I'm still alive. The character I'm controlling, everyone else is dead. I need to destroy the tank. I can run to my ally, any ally I want, take something off their inventory or everything if I wanted to. Well, of course, the obvious thing is to go there, take the grenade launcher or take the rocket launcher from whatever ally, destroy the tank, then revive my allies. You can't do that in SOCOM. If your guys are dead, or if you lose a team, if you lose how many ever, of your allies, that's it. You can't revive them. You can't take their stuff. You can't do nothing. And I understand the game's trying to be realistic. They're trying to show you sort of what it's like to be a Navy SEAL, or I think it's Marine. Yeah, Navy SEAL. But it's like, come on, like that's crazy. Because there's this one mission that I was stuck on. I had to fight this helicopter. I ended up not fighting the helicopter. I was actually able to beat the level without having to fight the helicopter. But it was a part in the level where you have to shoot down this helicopter. And all you really have are AKs or the weapons you brought into battle. Then you have weapons to the enemy drop, but those are mostly AKs. And you got a or you have a grenade launcher, but that doesn't shoot high enough. And I'm thinking, like, man, like if only I could, just change weapons, because on the armory screen before each mission, there's this really heavy machine gun that you can take with you. But by the time you get to the point where you fight the helicopter, you may be low on ammo. Plus the mission really requires that you have a lot of silenced weapons, so you can't really take that with you. And I'm like, man, if this was conflict, I could just, when I get to that point, go to one of my allies, take their heavy machine gun, shoot the helicopter down. That's simple. But you can't do that in SOCOM. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I've only played the first one, so I guess it's not really safe to judge right now. But there's just some things that I've noticed so far. SOCOM is just more technical, I guess. Whatever that means. And yeah, I understand that, like, not being able to heal yourself. That's, I guess it's more realistic, but eh, I don't know. I don't know. But there is a lot of stuff I like about SOCOM Part. Like SOCOM Part One, the first SOCOM. I love that. I love that game. I love it and I hate it. Like, I love it. I want to beat it, and I want to replay it again. But there are certain missions I don't want to replay. Like, it's one of those games to where I love it, and I want to complete it, and I want to play it again, but I don't want to play it again because of the parts that they get me frustrated and cause me to be stuck in that one spot for hours and hours and hours. So I'm kind of stuck. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that game because that's a game I definitely want to play when I'm not let's playing. But it's like I kind of don't want to play it. I'm like I'll play it, but I'll just play it till I get stuck, and then that'll be it. That'll be my gaming experience. Because when I first started, SOCOM had 8 endings. I was like, "That's great, that's great. Let's do it. Let's beat the game. Let's clear the game already." But then I realized how challenging it is just your first time through, and I'm like, "What? This is the easiest setting?" Nah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Back to SOCOM. Back to the comparisons. I like how in conflict in the first game, I forgot. I know in the first conflict, if one of your characters dies, he'll be replaced with a new recruit. The next mission. I think that's kind of neat. I think that happened. I'm not. I'm not sure. I think that was only. I think that was only in SOCOM Part One. No, not SOCOM. Conflict. Because in Part Two and the other ones, you have to keep all your guys. You have to keep all your guys alive. In Conflict, you could clear a mission, even if. I mean, you're still allowed to clear a mission no matter who's alive, as long as the human controlled character is alive. Then you're good. But in Conflict, yeah, in Conflict, the first one, if one of your characters dies, they're replaced with a new recruit. But I think from Part Two on up, that that's not possible. That doesn't happen. You have to start the whole game over, or the whole mission. Well, then again, it's almost impossible to die permanently because you get so many freaking health packs. What else is there? Yeah, I really wish Conflict had something to where you could replay the game with all your stats. Because at the end of the game, your characters are leveled up, or they've earned certain medals and they've earned stats, or they became more proficient with their primary weapons and with whatever other weapons you decided to give them during the campaign. And I like that right there. I like that a lot. Like you can even tell your characters which weapons to use, or you can just control them. You can just control them. I forgot that right there. So in terms of like strategy or strategicness, it's not a word, I guess. It's not a word. I have to give it to Conflict because you can control each character, even if you can't get them go exactly where you want them to go or do exactly what you want them to do. Just control them, and then have them go right there, exactly where you want them to go. I love that right there. I love that right there. I love that. I like how, see, conflict, when a mission starts, each character already has a set amount of equipment. You know, you have Connors, who's your heavy gunner. He has a heavy gun and usually a handgun or something. And then he has a bunch of grenades, health packs, I think a knife, something else. Then you have Jones. He's your demolitions guy, so he usually has like a silenced submachine gun, a handgun, some C4, sometimes a rocket launcher, and something else. But the point is, your loadout is already set for each mission. And SOCOM, and I guess it's just more realistic. You can change your loadout. You can have one rifle or big weapon, whatever, and then for your, I don't know if it's primary, secondary, whatever, you can have one handgun, and then you can choose if they carry more ammo, if they have whatever else, and that's all great. What I think back to that mission that I was stuck on, where you have to fix that helicopter, and I'm like, man, if this is conflict, I could just switch to any character that I have and just pull out a rocket launcher or whatever and just shoot that helicopter out the sky. But you got to fight that thing with assault rifles, and I'm like, oh. I mean, and yeah, it's a rickety helicopter. It's old and whatever else, but it's like, I guess I just suck at SOCOM. Let's say that. Hang on a second, my noodles are getting cold. My noodles are. Oh, that's disgusting. They're cold. But anyway, that's it on that. I'll probably make another one of these videos after I've beaten maybe the second or third SOCOM, or after I've beaten the whole series. And I've also decided that if I can't beat the first SOCOM, I'm just going to skip it and do part 2 one up. I really want to do part 1 through all the way to combined assault, but if it doesn't work out that way, it doesn't work out that way. So let's see what happens. Alright guys, take care. Yeah, that's about it. Take care, and I'll see you guys later.